Yo, it's 13 with Superior Mobile by 13. Pretty tight here in the shop today, but I gotta show off this 85 Monte Carlo SS because it is just an absolute beaut. This is Dan's project vehicle here. He just had it repainted and buffed and polished, and the paint has now been ceramic coated, so it is looking super wet and glossy. The interior is still under construction, so he's doing carpeting in here soon. That's some really nasty sound deadening job. This thing does have an engine swap in it, and Dakota digital gauges, that's these guys right here, but all I did on this thing is the radio install, and it's really not that big a deal except for the fact it's kind of a big deal. So basically he's got this DVD player JVC radio double DIN that he absolutely loved, and he had some other dude install it, but he made like this kind of janky thing that like just didn't work and looked terrible, and I'm not really even sure what kind of material this thing is. I don't think it was 3D printed, but it's just weird. So what he asked me to do is to take the OEM bezel piece and somehow modify it so that I could get this radio in there and then mount the radio properly, because the radio is actually just kind of double-sided taped and pressure fit in with rubber grommet washers. It was a really weird janky install. That's what happens when you got a friend who says they can do it, you know, for the cheap. So anyway, what I ended up doing was I did a lot of modification and I cut a bunch out of the dash, which made me super nervous because this is a 1985 Monte Carlo SS in almost cherry condition. It's only got like 12,000 miles on the thing. And of course, I just hacked up this trim piece, but I did build a little jig and I ran that through the router, so I got a nice clean line. I do have a laser cut black acrylic piece to trim it out. The whole idea is that it looks like it belongs there. I didn't sell him that radio. Like I said, he just really liked this radio. He apparently is an avid CD listener, so he wanted something that had a CD player. I would have personally preferred to do like a Sony, like the AX6000 is a single DIN chassis. This is a double DIN chassis. There is not a lot of space back there. Hey-o, let's calm down here, guys. We also have a Sirius XM mounting dock, which is this guy right here. He's going to mount it wherever. So all I did was I ran the wires and wrapped it in that interior Tessa tape, so it's nice and fuzzy and looks nice and clean. Also did a flush mounted USB port that's up there, which is apparently for this guy's little lightning cable. That used to be where the cigarette lighter was, so that was a fairly simple modification. But I'm really only showcasing this radio install because I had to build brackets to mount that. There was no mounting places behind the scenes, so I ended up actually building up a mounting tab with JB Weld, and then I drilled and tapped locations there so that I could basically have something to mount to, and then put this all in place, and it is solid. Like, I mean, it doesn't move, so like that's cool. It is screwed in place. It's got the hidden OEM screws up right there and right there. So overall, I found a way to put this radio in here because he showed up and he had multiple people recommend him over to me, and I really didn't want to do it, but he convinced me it was worth doing, then I could, so that I did, and look, he's right, I did, and it looks good, and so I'm happy with it. All right, so that's really it. That's the end of the install of the radio, but of course I would be doing you all a disservice if I didn't at least show off the engine in here. Okay, so here's what's going on underneath the hood, and don't ask me to explain any of this. All I know is that this thing sounds super angry, and it's got some get up and go. And that's the extent of my engine knowledge, but I do know that this is a really cool, really pretty car, and I wanted to share it with you guys that I managed to fit a radio in it. I'm honored and pleased. Thanks for watching, guys. This is 13 with Superior Mobile by 13. I'll talk to you later. Bye!